Here is a Sanitaire Tradition upright vacuum. This is the Sanitaire SC899H vacuum. This is my first Sanitaire machine. I've never even used one before. Never worked on one, never serviced one, etc. I've heard very good things about them, and having some familiarity to the build, I expect it to be very high performance. I've been holding out for a while to try to find a vintage one. The local OK Will tends to get a decent number of vacuums, but I have not found one there over the course of the last several years. And then when I learned that these were made in Mexico, I decided to just go ahead and buy a new one, because from my experience, Mexico does pretty good quality manufacturing. Plus, I think it's really neat that such a basic traditional design is still under manufactured to this day. And while I'm sure it's not quite as well made, and perhaps there have been some changes since the older ones, it's probably pretty close to what they used to be. I can't necessarily comment on that because I wouldn't know. I don't have any older ones to compare it to. So let's see how easily this assembles. Comes in a nice basic box. It's nowhere as near as heavy as I thought it was going to be. At least the box didn't seem like it anyways. Here's what it looks like inside. Not too much plastic film. We have the handle. We have the bag. Now, this is a point of contention for me. I don't like bagless vacuums. This is kind of a bagless vacuum because this you have to, I guess this comes apart somehow. Slide out, I don't know how this comes apart somehow, and I guess you have to blast it with compressed air to really get it clean. But this is it. There's no like replaceable bag, which I really don't like, and I'm sure the filtration is probably very poor as a result. Now there's some confusion about if you can add bags to these. From what I can gather, I think that you can retrofit an F&G style bag into this machine. Maybe somebody who knows more about these can provide some clarification on that. I don't know what those parts are. They have a pretty serious cord with it. This is more or less just an extension cord. You can, from what I understand, use any cord you want. And here's the document. You have to excuse the chewed up appearance of my hands and arms. I went to battle with a chicken wire fence, and the fence won. How to assemble. Seems fairly simple. Well, it's not terribly heavy. It doesn't seem bad at all. I'm a big Orac user personally. I like Orac, and I like the Pro Team 1500 XP. And the Pro Team is ridiculously heavy. This is not bad. I think this is lighter. This is a direct air model, which is my preference. I like direct air vacuums for cleaning carpet. Alright, so sit down here so I can read the manual a little bit easier. It says, slide the upper handle and the lower handle together so the handle bolt holes are positioned as shown in the detailed drawing. Okay. Nice chrome finish on there, looks pretty good. So I'm not really sure why you would choose a delicate finish like chrome for something like a vacuum. Okay. And I think that's where this stuff comes into play. Insert 2-part bolt and tighten using a screwdriver. I gotta get a screwdriver. So it looks like this goes through here. Like this. And I'm going to cheat and just tighten it with this, which is a very dangerous thing to do. And next time I have this down in the studio, I will use one of those screwdrivers and tighten it up. Before I put that on, let's just take a quick look at the unit here. It does seem like it's pretty good quality. It doesn't feel cheesy or cheap. The wheels are pretty good. They're not rubberized, but it really doesn't matter because this is not a machine that you would ever use on scratchable floors. I mean, technically you could take the belt off and use it as a non-carpet vacuum, but that's not really practical. So I think that this just goes like that, and that goes like that, and you can take this off to replace the belt. This is all metal, that's nice. The fan is plastic, but that's no surprise, that's pretty standard. Nice stiff bristles on the brush roll. Certainly easy belt change. The latches feel like they're nice quality. $7 amps, that's reasonable. Got a nice soft bump around here that looks like it could be pretty easily replaced. Yeah, this seems like it's pretty good. Pretty well made. The roll's very smooth. Nice. And it does look like the old ones. The only thing it doesn't have, which is a little disappointing, is the light, but I knew that. Height adjustment here. And you got quite the range too. That's, I mean, I can slide my big hands under there on 6. And this feels nice too. It's nicely latching into place. And that's almost touching the floor. So again, you could use this if you took the belt off. You probably could use it in this setting on a harder floor without the brush roll enabled. Although actually, yeah, I suppose you could. Some of the older models had a metal piece that would beat the carpet. This doesn't seem to have it. If you left the brush roll on, it would likely just fling dirt everywhere. The Oryx have a squeegee on the bottom that prevents that, but this doesn't have that. But this is not meant for anything but carpet anyways. Probably use probably 3 in this room. And this moves really nice. I'll probably throw some oil on these wheels after a couple uses. Alright, now I'll put the handle on the bottom. Got the old school metal switch. That is really neat. I really like products like this that are just so old school, but they're still under production. And it makes sense. If you have a design that works, don't mess with it. Actually, this is probably tight enough. Chrome's in nice condition. I don't see any imperfections in it. Paint looks pretty good too. This is, I guess this is all plastic, but this is definitely metal. Alright, what's next? Well, first we're going to try not to break the light. 2. Pull the spring on the electrical cord upward toward the top of the handle. I have to undo this. Okay. Insert the lower half of the spring into the upper cord hook as shown. Snap the hook into the upper handle. So it shows I think it's showing this piece. Now these are plastic. I would have much preferred these to be metal because the cord's pretty heavy. This is a lot of, granted this is, this is pretty reinforced. It feels pretty strong. I definitely would have preferred this to be metal. How do we know which one is the upper? They are not identical. I'm guessing this is the upper one because it seems like the spring would fit like this. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what it shows in the picture. Okay. And then the next one goes towards the bottom. I'm going to hook this on first so I know where to put the second one. How does this work? I don't understand how this works. I see how it needs to sit, but I just don't see how we get it there. I'm worried about this breaking because it's only plastic. I guess you just force it. Actually, that clips on pretty well, all things considered. It's not clear the way that it goes, though. Not clear at all, at least not to me. Okay, now, the next one goes on the bottom. Insert the power cord into the lower cord hook, which is this one. Looks like we'll need to insert it somewhere around there, and then it says to, which I guess these just kind of force on there. That one did not nicely latch like the first one did. Trying to break the light. I guess that's there in place. Okay. Pull on the cord to tighten, but leave enough slack near the base so the cord is not strained when the handle is lowered. Okay. That looks to be about good. This I think is metal. It's metal with like a rubberized coating. The whole latch there is metal. That's good. Wrap the cord around the two cord hooks and fasten the plug to prevent unwinding. I guess. Oh, I see. So this whole apparatus is just to connect this cord to it. It would have been nice if the cord was wrapped the right length of in between these two hooks, because this has the wrong memory to it now. It'll fix itself. It's just a minor complaint or critique. Okay, that's kind of a sharp flex there. Okay, now I'm not going to coil this up because I want to use it. I'll do that later off video when I'm done using it. Insert the bag adapter clip on the bottom of the bag collar into the bag adapter retainer, which I guess is this. I really wish I had some kind of a liner to put in here. This is just going to get so dirty. How the heck do you clean it? Well, that's certainly easy enough. Push the collar up and forward so the locator lug push the bag collar up and forward so the locator lug slides into the slot. We did that. Turn the cam latch to lock the bag onto the rivet. Loop the spring on the top of the bag onto the bag support on the back of the upper cord hook. So the bag hangs by the plastic thing. I don't see where the bag loops onto. There's no picture of that particular step. Do I have it backwards? According to the picture, the thing should be on the other side. I might have this backwards. That would appear to be the case. No, we're going to have to switch this around here. I think I see the clip on the front. Heck's all that noise? What is all that? Some kind of nutcase of an animal. Alright, so I assembled these clips. I put them on backwards. That is our problem here. So let me see if I can undo this, or if I gotta go get a different tool. I think I'm gonna go get a different tool. I guess now that I have the screwdriver, I should just tighten the screws properly. The handle was kind of wobbly, so I guess I didn't get it tight enough. No, that's going to go pretty tight to clean up that slop. Okay, that's better. Alright, so let's get this clip off. I just fixed the other one off camera. I'll get this one off on camera. Supposed to go like this instead on this side, which I guess makes more sense considering the side the cord is on. Okay. Now, let's see if the bag clip thing makes any sense. Now it makes sense. There's the bag clip. Oh, that's a lot of force on a little plastic tab. I don't like that. Okay, now it is assembled. That doesn't really feel heavy to me at all. I don't know why people have been saying it's heavy. I guess some people it might be heavy too, but relative to other machines, that doesn't seem that heavy. Alright, so that's what it looks like, assembled. The machine feels like it's very good quality, nice simple design. The instructions, a little lackluster. Granted, everybody's brain works differently, but I'm very mechanical, so if I struggle with something, I tend to think that the average user is going to struggle with it as well. Alright, so I'll use this a couple times and then we'll come back and do another video and have some more commentary on it. But so far, I like it.